Let's just dive straight into this explainer and tackle what is, honestly, one of the most massive frustrations of modern life: job hunting. If you're out there sending out applications and feeling like you're literally just hitting a brick wall, well, you're definitely in the right place. Today, we're going to explore exactly what experts say are the clear-cut signs your CV needs a major overhaul, and more importantly, the quick fixes to get you back on track.
Are your applications just being met with total absolute silence? You know the feeling. Sending resumes out into the void and hearing literally nothing back. It's incredibly demoralizing. But hey, instead of getting discouraged, let's treat the job hunt as the patient and your CV as the symptom. We're going to look for the 4 major warning signs that your document just isn't doing its fundamental job.
So here's our roadmap to turn that silent document into a total interview magnet. We'll be looking at silence after applying, outdated formats and design, trimming down irrelevant experience, and upgrading to impact language. Then, we'll wrap it all up with your CV action plan.
All right, Section 1, Silence After Applying, or what we're calling the 10-second test.
Now, this is probably the clearest red flag there is. If you're getting interviews but no actual job offers, well, that points to your interview performance, right? Different challenge. But 0 responses? That points squarely at the CV itself. Get this, recruiters spend under 10 seconds on a first scan. 10 seconds! Think about how insanely fast that goes by. That means if your CV isn't instantly readable and highly relevant, it gets passed over immediately. If they can't find what they need before they even finish scanning the top half of the page, you're out.
So how do you actually pass that blink and you miss it 10-second test? It really comes down to 3 quick steps. Read the job description carefully, mirror their keywords, and tailor your CV to the role. You've got to actively adapt your document for every single specific role you apply for. Like, if the job description asks for client relations, don't just write customer service. Mirror their exact language so they instantly recognize you as the perfect fit.
Moving right along to Section 2, Outdated Format and Design, or as we'd like to call it, the robot gatekeepers.
You know, you might think having those older CV hallmarks, like a big objective statement right at the top, complex tables, or some super decorative layout, helps you stand out. But actually, you might be setting yourself up for automatic failure. And it all comes down to ATS, or Applicant Tracking Systems. Basically, this is software companies use to scan incoming resumes, and it really struggles to parse complex formatting. You could be failing simply because of these robotic gatekeepers, meaning your beautifully designed CV never even reaches a human being. The system just gets confused and tosses it out.
To bypass this ATS software and make absolutely sure human eyes evaluate your application, you need to rely on a clean, single-column layout. Stick to standard headings and modern, readable fonts. But here's the absolute crucial part, the big no's. No text boxes, no tables or columns, and absolutely no graphics. Just keep it simple and let the machine easily read your data.
Okay, Section 3, Trimming Irrelevant Experience to fix what we call the cluttered narrative.
A third major sign of a failing CV is a completely cluttered narrative. You know the kind where you list absolutely every past duty you've ever had? It wastes incredibly valuable space and makes your CV feel, well, totally unfocused. Recruiters want to see a clear, straightforward narrative. Every single bullet point needs to build a compelling case, and the best way to do that is by strictly applying the 80-20 rule.
And what that means is 80% of your CV absolutely must speak directly to your target role. The quick fix here? Keep only the experience that is explicitly relevant or transferable to the job you actually want right now, and ruthlessly cut everything else. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you were the world's most fantastic barista a decade ago if you're applying to an accounting firm today. If it doesn't connect to your target field, it's just wasting precious real estate on the page.
Which brings us to Section 4, Upgrading to Impact Language. This is all about the shift from passive duties to active impact.
So, a fourth sign your CV is struggling is the use of really weak duty-focused phrases. Writing things like, I handled, I oversaw, or I was responsible for, it's just completely passive. It really only tells a recruiter what your job title already implies, right? To show what you actually achieved, experts recommend a really specific formula for every single bullet point. You start with a strong action verb, state the task, and then provide the result or the scale. It's basically simple math, but it fundamentally transforms how your entire experience is perceived.
Just think about the difference between a simple duty and a targeted achievement. Saying you oversaw social media tells a recruiter pretty much nothing about your actual skill level. But saying you grew Instagram following by 40% in 3 months through targeted content strategy, boom. You're using an action verb, a task, and a measurable result to prove your value instantly. It's this kind of active language that really demonstrates your actual impact.
If you're kind of wondering where to even start with this, think about strong, results-driven action verbs. Words like led, grew, reduced, delivered, launched, or streamlined. Seriously, go find every single instance of the phrase responsible for on your document right now and just replace it with an active verb.
And finally, Section 5, your CV action plan for the final push. To quickly sum up these fixes, tailor those keywords to mirror the specific job description you're looking at. Use clean, ATS-friendly formatting. No graphics allowed. Apply that 80-20 rule to trim the fat from your past experience. And of course, write those results-driven impact statements using strong action verbs. If you actively apply these 4 treatments, you're going to eliminate those invisible roadblocks that have been holding you back.
So I highly recommend you take just 10 minutes today to review your CV against these 4 signs. But before you do, I want you to ask yourself this. What is the one passive, outdated word sitting on your resume right now that might be secretly costing you your absolute dream job? Thanks so much for joining this explainer. And hey, it's time to get to editing.